Hey guys, so today in conjunction with our lesson, I'm going to show you how to grill some halloumi cheese, which is the official cheese of Cyprus, made from sheep's milk. Just going to show you some simple techniques here and throw together a quick salad from stuff I just had laying around my fridge. So I had some tomatoes, some Kalamata olives, some cucumbers, and I'm going to prep a lemon for garnish. I'm just going to cut the ends off so I could then cut it again in half so I could stand it up on the plate. And there's my mise right there. My cucumbers, tomatoes, and Kalamata olives. This is a good time to practice your knife skills. Try to get that nice, small brunoise. I'm also using some microgreens from my garden. I got some micro basil. As you can see here, it's very small. You can't see the scale, but you'll see later. And I also have some micro mint that's been sprouting in my yard. So I'm going to just grill the lemon in a hot cast iron pan just to get some nice grill marks. And you could use this technique for fish and other dishes as well, maybe grilled chicken or even another flat surface. So I have all my ingredients here. I'm just going to throw it in a bowl and mix it all together with a spoon. The baby just crawled over the mic stand right there. So make sure you got everything in there. Just going to lightly season it with some salt, some fresh cracked pepper, and a little bit of my extra virgin olive oil. There you go. And I'm just going to mix this together lightly. This is the first take. The next take I actually add some avocado to bind it together. So just let it marinate a little. You don't want to put any lemon juice at this point because the lemon juice we're going to add to when we finish grilling or once we plate it and we want to add some more acidity. So you want to have some knife skills there. Okay, now I'm going to take these cookie cutters, or you can use rings. You have a variety of sizes, and chefs use these to plate up certain things in a cylindrical form. So I kind of made a little olive, tomato, and cucumber tapenade, if you will, and use the ring mold or form of a cookie cutter. So you just spoon it in and then use the back of the spoon while holding down on the plate. Hold that ring tightly and just pat it down. Try to get that 360-degree motion with your spoon. There you go. Just kind of takes a little practice to do that. Just push it down gently. Don't smush it. The avocado was nice and ripe, so it helped to bind everything together so it wasn't falling apart. And that's just the base of our little salad garnish. Okay. Just get everything out there. Don't want to waste anything. All right. So once you pack it in nicely, we're going to clean up that plate. You got that tomato just hanging out there. We can't have that. No, no, no. All right, so lightly pat the top down. And this technique chefs use for many different applications, big and smaller. But to get rid of something on the plate, press down with a rag or towel. Press it down hard and wipe it off and to the left or right. Don't kind of splotch it. You want to completely swipe it clean. You remove the ring mold or the cookie cutter, and you got that nice, beautiful, kind of like a tapenade formation. You've probably seen this if you've gotten like a tuna tartare or something like that in the past. It's a very common practice and very simple. Okay, here's a close-up of the shot. Very nice and easy. So let's get to the halloumi bit. All right, so we'll open the halloumi. We want to slice it up. First, take the wrapper off. Some of them have a lot of liquid in them. This one is rather dry, which is good. And that brand is not as salty as others, so we're going to keep it rather thick so we can get some nice grill marks. Okay, so it'll melt and get gooey in the middle, but it'll stay together and get crispy on the outside. So we're cutting it about almost 3/4 of an inch, and then I'm putting it on some paper towel to help drain off some of the liquid. Just like anything else we grill or sear, we want to have it dry so we get a nice color and texture as well as make those grill marks pop. Okay. So I'm just going to put a little oil down on this Costco plate of mine. And just put a little bit of, so it doesn't stick. And I'm going to rub the top of the halloumi with a little bit more of olive oil. Just to help, accentuate the grill marks. But you don't want to douse it in oil. You don't want to put oil in your cast iron pan either. Maybe just wipe it with a towel that has a little bit of oil on it. Or just give it a quick spritz of Pam. Never pour oil into a cast iron skillet because you're going to smoke out the house. All right, so I got my meats all set here. The cheese to the right, far from the flame. Make sure you preheat your cast iron grill. You want it to be about 350 to 400 or so you get some nice color, nice shine. You don't want it raging and smoking at like 500-600 degrees. That thermometer of mine actually goes up to about 950 degrees because it's actually a pizza oven thermometer. So you could take the temperature of the stones in the oven or check people coming in your house for, COVID as well. All right, so I'm going to put them down on an angle so we can get some nice grill marks. So we'll just put them at like a 10 o'clock position. We're not going to go 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock like we did with the chicken. We're just going to put it in one direction. This cheese doesn't melt, but it still gets very gooey, and you don't want to handle it too much with the tongs. So just one side down, and then we'll skip ahead a little bit as it cooks. See the temperature in the pan kind of went down a little bit because of adding the cheese. So you got to let it set. Don't start fussing with it. Don't start picking it up with the tongs. Let them set and get that grill mark. Because if you keep fussing with it, just like beef or anything else, it's going to not attain that beautiful grill mark color. All right, so we can see here, if you see the sides are kind of melting into the grooves of that cast iron. Best is outdoors on a wood grill. Still kind of rainy and cold for that. So fast forward a little bit here, and you can see that they've cooked a little bit, and I got to turn them over, and you got those beautiful brown grill marks. Okay, but you want to treat them nice and delicately so they're not like completely falling apart. There you go, just flip them over, let them finish a little bit. Okay, and like I said, if you ever get to do this, you don't want to handle it too much, but I'm just giving you an example of how this cheese works and how it is cooked in a grill. So I'm going to finish it with a little bit of lemon juice. Throw that in there to finish. I know acidity and cast iron don't go, but this cast iron pan I've had for 10 years. It'll be fine. All right, so there they are. Just get it ready on the plate. They look nice grill marks right there. And then we'll get ready to plate up and garnish as if it were an appetizer. You could just simply throw this on a salad. It's a huge, thing for vegan protein replacement, or vegetarian, not vegan. So just, shingle, which means just to lay them over each other in a circular fashion, kind of like, shingles on a roof. So it gives a little height. And we'll take that grilled lemon, just put it on the side. So you give the customer the option to add more acidity. That's why we didn't make too much of a vinaigrette for the little tapenade salad. Just a touch of olive oil on top. And I have some spiced honey here with a little cayenne. Just going to put a little droplets in my mini squeeze bottle. That's about a 1 ounce squeeze bottle. You can use things like that to get really fine little circles and patterns and whatnot. So I'm just going to put a little droplets, because with the acidity, and you get that honey with a little spice, when you swipe the cheese through it, you get all those flavors together, and they really mix well, the lemon and the honey, especially with halloumi cheese, because it has that nice, salty, kind of crunchy, but gooey, rubbery texture, but rubbery in a good way. So I'm going to put some of my microgreens on top. I got my micro mint. I'm going to put some on the honey. So if someone were to swipe up the honey with the cheese, they would get some of that nice, fresh, herby taste as well. So I'm using these little culinary tongs because I have these big sausage fingers. And if I were to use my fingers straight up, I would be crushing these delicate little microgreens. And they're very small. So I'm not doing it to be too frou-frou, but I just don't want to damage the leaves. Okay, and just put some on the honey. Do it if you ever do this. Just do it any way you want. You could put it in the center, stack things differently. There's never any wrong way to plate or garnish when you put it up to your imagination. Whatever you do, you just want to make sure your plate is clean rim, and you can do anything you imagine. So let's finish up this dish here. Nice, you go to a brunch place or Mediterranean place, that'll cost you about $20, $25. Fifth Avenue prices maybe $30. So make sure it's clean, honey around the sides. Keep it neat. So that's a close-up, more different angle. You see the cheese is hot, and it's still gooey on the inside, but it formed that crust, even though it's kind of shrinking together. And if I cut it down the middle, you can see how nice that inside is bright and white, but you got those nice crispy grill marks on the outside. And that's what's the most famous thing and popular thing about halloumi cheese, especially in the last 15 years or so. You have it as more of a mainstream cheese in a lot of parts of the world, especially in New York and other places where they use it in grilled cheeses and in other applications, because it's such a gooey, melty, nice cheese that holds up really well against heat. All right, guys, thank you for watching. And if you ever get to try halloumi,
enjoy.